Can you imagine if that was how it worked? Like, if I wasn't at my computer and somebody's like, you need to write code, and they just physically picked me up and threw me.
Just threw you
at a computer. I would know what to do, but it's just like, that was okay, man. I got it. I'll work. I got it. You could have talked to me, you know? It's actually just called Anubis in Palworld?
Yeah.
Egypt should sue, not Nintendo. Egypt. The whole country should sue Palworld.
Okay.
Egyptian mythology
Quite literally,
is
it is Anubis.
True.
That is the Palworld equivalent of it.
Just like where Nordic land should sue Marvel for Thor. You can't say, like, we made a Sphinx Pokemon, and then, like, they make a Sphinx Pal, and it's just like, ah, what the f***? Like, what do you mean, what the f***? You copied someone first! We copied the same people you did! We're about to look real dumb when he's like, and here's the Bitcoins in Palworld! And we're like, oh, sh**. Today, we're going to talk about the many controversies of Palworld. Good old Mudahar, good old Some Ordinary Gamers made a video compiling all the controversies of Palworld, and I wanted to give my opinion on it. I played a couple hours, so I thought I might have some opinions. And with me today, I have one of the biggest Pokemon nerds I've ever met in my entire life, besides maybe me, but it's questionable. I've got good old Matt with me. Say hi to the people, Matt.
Hi, people.
Hello.
Glad to be here.
So Matt, tell me a little bit about how much Palworld you have played.
I'm probably up to anywhere from 20 to 25 hours.
Nice.
I have both a single-player kind of map, and then we've done a multiplayer one for a bit. I have probably prioritized far too much exploration instead of actually like building up technologies, and I gotta tell you, I don't really care about the technology stuff. I'm loving just roaming the map side so far.
I kind of agree. I mean, we played together for the first time last night. After I played, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours of it. I realized what I was doing was just trying to unlock as many technology things as I possibly could. In Pokemon, I'm just rushing to do everything I can to get every new Pokemon and beat everything. I actually don't go and catch everything in the area, but in Palworld, you get a bunch of XP from completing all the Pokemon nearby. So then, that just made me want...
Pokemon.
Or Palworld. I don't know what the whatever, dude. I'm gonna do this all day. That's one thing. I'm gonna try to call them pals. I'm gonna fail. It's just too... It's part of me. I'm too deep in it. In Palworld, when you get 10 pals of a single type, you get a bonus XP. So if I want to raise my level, it seems like the fastest way to do so is to just keep catching 10 pals. So I'm trying to do that, which is strange because it's just not the way I play Pokemon at all. I mean, it's a very different game, though. I think that's a big point in Palworld's favor, that it's not a big copy of Pokemon, because the style of play I'm doing is just very, very different from what I do in Pokemon.
Probably a really good sign that your initial instinct is completely different, and I think that says a lot about how this may have been a transformative thing on just the monster catching concept overall.
I think anyone who just says it's Pokemon with guns, that's a fun meme, but it's just not at all Pokemon with guns. The closest Pokemon game I feel like it is Legends Arceus. It's similar in kind of layout, I guess? I don't really know how to put it. Because, like, the way you catch them is similar, right? You just throw a ball at it and hope you catch it. But the way you battle them is not. It seems like the evolution of Arceus, plus, like, Valheim, plus Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, people want to keep bringing in the argument for, like, Ark Survival, and I can see it, but you don't really even unlock your first gun until, like, level 25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, I mean, I have that fire thing, the Fox Sparks, I think.
Yeah.
And then I have the harness for it, so I effectively use that thing as a gun. Granted, it's a flamethrower, but I am just shooting, you know? And the crossbow is pretty close to a gun. I didn't play much Valheim, but it reminds me a lot of Valheim. Because it's like a lot of melee combat at first, specifically, and the crafting is very similar to Valheim. Turns out, not a rip-off Pokemon, rip-off of Valheim, and no one's talking about it, you know?
Pokemon with guns is just indicative that someone hasn't spent a lot of time in it.
It's a good sales pitch. I was talking to people at work who hadn't even heard of it. I just showed them a picture of the lamb holding a gun, and they were like, wow, okay. I'm like, yeah, dude, we're wilding out here. Let us listen to some controversies. Are you ready, Matt?
Absolutely, my whole body.
Your whole body. What is that? Reggie Fils-Aimé? Hey, that's on topic. He was the Nintendo guy. And we're talking about how they're copying Pokemon. Nailed
You
it.
brought it around.
We did. We're already bringing it around.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and today we got to look at the controversy of Palworld.
I don't think that's how you spell controversy.
I don't think it is, Matt. It's not quite correct. What's interesting is he totally nailed it in the title. I don't know if he got it wrong and then somebody commented.
Oh, yeah.
But the title is correct. Well, this is just not. Big ol' spelling mistake already. So, although I wasn't meaning to critique Mudahar, we already are.
You know, a day ago I made a video talking about this game, basically telling you that I enjoy it. Today we're looking at the actual controversies. Did this game steal from Nintendo? Is Nintendo gonna sue them? And God forbid...
Let's already go into it a little bit, Matt. Did this game steal from Nintendo?
It's tough, right? Because typically when you have, I don't know, intellectual properties, you have trademarks and copyrights. And sometimes you know, something can have both, but typically a trademark is, you know, you've borrowed my likeness or my my words, right? You can't, no other game, unless it's officially licensed by the Pokemon Company, can have Pokemon in it. But so far as copyright, I don't know, man. I think we'll get into it, I'm sure, but there are some things quite similar, but I don't know. I feel like it's too transformative.
If they had a 3D Electabuzz and I copied the model and put it in my game, is that a trademark violation or a copyright violation?
So, in my very limited knowledge of this,
I will point that out. Neither of us are even close to lawyers. I'm an engineer. Matt is like a manager, a store manager. So we're gonna.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of
copyright
copyright and trademark in my day-to-day at retail. Nintendo, interestingly enough, depending on the country, hasn't actually trademarked every Pokemon's name.
I wondered if they had to do that because there's over 1,000 of them.
Yeah, at this point, right?
Because would you have to trademark, like, what do you trademark, I guess? Just the name, and then maybe one version of its, like, one 2D sprite, I guess? And then they just determine if that's going to affect the 3D, or, like...
See, fun fact, you can do separately. You can do just the name, and then you can do the likeness. I've been watching, you know, some other videos. I shouldn't mention that. And I've definitely Googled a bunch of things. And it's stuff like, I don't know, the Pokemon Company in France hasn't trademarked something like 300 Pokemon. I don't know what they've done in the US.
It's PALWORLD
right?
French.
I haven't seen an example of that yet.
So you probably can't copy the original 151, right? And then you just start
Right,
going
I
into,
would
like, 600 territory? Maybe that's when you'd be like, okay, we got our, I don't know, what's a really our clef key. We're not going to worry about that guy, you know?
You're right, it's probably a lot to do with popularity as well. I would call it a trademark infringement. Copyright would be way more close to, like, I don't know, the process of a thing. In copywriting, you can't, like, copyright, I don't know, a monster catcher game.
Yeah.
That's not.
Well, there
that's
are
not a thing.
Pokemon, like, clones. There are games, like, Temtem is not quite a clone, but there's another one I was playing, Nexomon or something, which is, it's like a Pokemon. It's turn-based, catch a bunch of creatures, throw them out, it's type advantages, I mean, there are differences, yeah, but I mean, it's just like Fortnite is a battle royale, just like
Right.
PUBG was. Like, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't just corner the market
Can't
on that.
copyright an arena shooter kind of deal.
If you're doing like a Unity like art library or something like that, would that be copyright if somebody just used it? You had assets in Unity, probably, right?
Yeah, man, I don't know. See, media is probably where I lack it the most, at least visual stuff. So, like, I know books do it all the time, where someone loves the concept of someone's story about a thing, and they just rip that and insert that in their story as a main premise.
Right.
That's actually what happened with what's that? The Da Vinci Code. Dan Brown. The whole, like, Jesus marrying Mary Magdalene. That was something some historians actually put together in, like, a non-fiction aspect, right? To deliver that to the readers. And Dan Brown was like, I really like that idea. Threw it in an art piece of fiction, and he got through just fine.
Yeah, turns out reality is stranger than fiction, so you just write reality in your book. Nailed it. All done. Ship it. We'll go into later whether or not they copied some of the designs. But as a concept, not even close. It doesn't really feel that much like a Pokemon other than the catching of these creatures. Like, nothing else feels particularly like Pokemon. The style is a bit. It looks better than Pokemon for what it's worth.
In a lot of instances.
Yeah, and I'm still shocked. We were talking about this last night. I'm shocked at how many animations they already have in the game. I think they've been working on it for like 3 or 4 years, but like every PAL has like a mining animation. Well, not all of them. All the mining ones have mining animations. All the ones that can chop wood have chopping wood animations. I don't know how different they all are, but it's just like, how many PALs are there?
It's just over 100. I think it's like 110 or 111 right now.
But that's a lot of work. Like, Nintendo doesn't do that for their attacks in Pokemon. Granted, there's 1,000 Pokemon. But, like, a Pokemon just has, like, 2 attack animations, and they just have a GIF over the one that they're hitting, right?
Well, yeah, the one that made me the most sad was probably the most recent entry, the Scarlet and Violet.
First of all, the animations often look like shit, but they don't even, like, interact with the other Pokemon.
You know, they've been working on it for a couple years now. They've had the trailer out. This isn't a surprise to anyone, but this was on the way. And I really feel like if one of the most litigious companies, if they felt threatened in any kind of way, this would never have made it to launch.
Well, after you're the best play or the second most played game on Steam, maybe you start feeling a little bit threatened.
I guess that's fair.
They are quite litigious though. Like they go after ROM hacks all the time. They go after just ROMs.
Yeah, they don't like fan games.
No, they don't. And sometimes that's really disappointing because their games, at least Pokemon-wise, their games are shit. Last 3 Pokemon games, other than Arceus, the last 3 mainline ones have been actual garbage.
God forbid is it doing something haram, like using artificial intelligence.
All right, Matt, I was going to ask you something. Did you ask ChatGPT if it copied Pokemon?
I have not.
You have not. I think I saw somebody ask that, and I didn't know what the it was talking about. What are your short thoughts on, like, people using AI to make art and stuff like that?
I think I have a problem with, like, traditional art generators using AI because of the kind of coaching aspect of the AI that you typically have to do.
Yeah, it learns off of existing art, right?
Some of them you can actually have it specifically after one artist, so long as it's been fed enough images from this specific artist. So
right.
I think that's a really precarious road to travel at that point, trying to identify. Now, I don't know if you've looked at a whole lot of AI generated art. There's still not much that I see that convinces me that it's like a person. Like, there's some good stuff out there, but it's hard to make people do hands.
Yes, the hands. The hands will always get you.
Hands, shoulders, noses, they always kind of start looking a little whacked out. I don't think I like it for art generation specifically because I think that's a really tricky road.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally love it for like the text portions. Like, I like making up my own little stories utilizing ChatGPT and hitting it with something like, and then what happens?
Mm-hmm.
That simple of a prompt sometimes throws this character that it's established down some sort of road. I don't know, I think it's fun, but in a market where potentially you can make money on it, that's when I think that's the issue. That's the line.
I generally agree, but I'm not sure that the line is that clear there. Because if you're saying, like, I'm going to write, like, you're in the comic books, I want to write, like, a superhero story or something. Instead of going and buying somebody who made a superhero story for you, you can have ChatGPT write a superhero story for you based on works that it's read, right? So they've still lost on it. Like, there isn't an author that gains money, although I guess maybe you might have paid a subscription to ChatGPT or whatever. But they're not, like, selling the work, but the author would still have a loss.
Yeah, I can see that aspect. I definitely... It gets kind of weird, though, because then are you posing stories that were never in the pipeline to come out even in the future? As you pointed out, at least for me, as big of an enthusiast as I am, I'm going to buy the story anyways.
Right.
I don't think that's an excuse, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's an addition to an existing thing, then maybe it's okay. I really don't know. I'm not much of an artist, so I don't have, like, a stake in this. If somebody is desperate enough to replace my one viewer on YouTube, and you want to replace that with an AI that gets that 1 viewer, then I guess I'll be a little upset. I'm not an artist in any real sense. I don't have much of a stake in it. It is a tool, so there's a lot of times where it's just like, yeah, if you just use it to make your own art. I feel a little bit iffy if you just put a prompt in ChatGPT and then you sell whatever the f it puts out. Like, that feels a little weird. But if you use it to augment what you're doing, then it feels better. But this is totally feels over reals. I have no idea if any of that makes sense.
Well, I think it does. I think another part of the argument or discussion should probably be, is it inevitable or not, though? I don't say we should give up the debate because it's going to happen regardless, but I don't see this going away.
Oh, it's inevitable. You're not going to stop. We're going to be in the pods, and we're going to have an AI just streaming what we want to watch into our brains. Like, it's happening. We're going to be the Wall-E people, but we won't give a shit because we'll have the best content ever because the AI will know exactly what we want to see 100% of the time.
Isn't that dystopian?
I don't know. It depends. I'm fine with it. Whatever. Who cares? Hey, if you get all my dopamine or whatever, and I think I'm accomplishing shit, like, I'm that dude in the Matrix where he just loves steak, so he wanted to stop the motherfuckers from getting out of the Matrix. I'm that guy. I don't remember his name. Is that Cypher or something? That dude. Plug me back in, you know? It's fine. Use me as a battery. As long as I'm happy, who the hell gives a shit? I don't believe in souls or any of this shit. So somebody's like, oh, your soul's dying or something. I'm like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. None of this matters. My body is ultimately irrelevant to me. It's my consciousness. So if my consciousness is having a good time, then cool.
Many social situations, perception's king regardless. So I see the argument.
It's going to be a while. Me and you will probably be dead. Well, maybe not. Maybe they'll transfer us into a computer. But then it won't really be us. It'll be a copy of us. So like the Star Trek transporters, they just make copies. They don't actually put you anywhere.
Yeah. Break you down item by item.
So maybe we'll be in some kind of computer. I think we're going to be plugged into the machines. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. You think you won't, and then you're going to experience it, and then you won't be able to get out of it. It'll be a little bit like Total Recall. I was in the machine. I didn't even know. It was so awesome.
I just hope it's sooner rather than later, because if that's going to be the case, I really have no interest in being some sort of programmed consciousness who also still has Alzheimer's.
Yeah, having Alzheimer's and being a robot or computer program would be really annoying. I'm like, why am I plugged into this? Fix it. I don't understand. That'd be some kind of...
Right now, in the dead of night, 3 in the morning, witching hour, it's getting 896,000 people playing right now.
That's an absolutely absurd number. Jesus Christ. I can't believe how many people are playing this game.
Having 896,000 people, like, yell at the same time in a stadium.
I know, dude.
It's fucking nonsense.
This isn't bought. This isn't sales. That's right now. That's an entire, like, how big is a stadium? How many people does a stadium hold? It's not 1 million. It's like 100,000 or something? If that? Like, this is absurd. These are absurd numbers for a game that just came out that is not made by anyone of note.
M&T Bank Stadium, you know?
Yeah.
The,
Ravens, yes.
Home of my team, the Ravens. Max capacity in 2023 was 71,000 people.
Jesus Christ. Like, I get it's a different thing. Because, like, there's probably 1 million people listening to Taylor Swift or whatever at any given moment. I get it. But it's like, in her concerts, just fill up stadiums because she can't go any bigger, really. If you just think of the people playing this game that's not made by Nintendo, it's not made by Sony, it's not made by Microsoft, it's...
No AAA here.
Yeah. Well, Microsoft is getting in with them. They were, like, funding them and shit. They're like, hey, you got to on Game Pass. We'll start funding. I'm wondering if it's going to show up on a PlayStation anymore. I kind of feel like it won't. I think they said it was going to.
Everything I've read was maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I wouldn't... If Microsoft can get in there and be like, hey, I know you got a lot of money, but we got the gaming motherfucker. We'll send you a dev or two. And they put things on Steam, so there's no, like, there's nothing wrong there. I don't know if they'll buy PALWORLD, but I could see them just being like, we're just a heavy investor, and you have to keep it on Steam and Game Pass.
In fact, looking at the Steam charts itself, it's actually beat the, well, it didn't beat the all-time peak of Counter-Strike, but a 24-hour peak, it did.
I believe it has beaten the all-time peak of Counter-Strike now. Pretty sure it's only behind, like, PUBG.
Also massive, yeah.
Yeah, well, PUBG is also, like, absurd, too, because it was just some random... just made a game there, too. So... I guess that just happens. What's gonna be the next one? It's gotta be some multiplayer game, right? It's gonna be Skyrim with, I don't know, multiplayer, and it's gonna be mech-based or something. There you go. That's it. That's the next one.
Wow, that was a mashup.
Yeah, well, that's what the other ones are. Well, I guess PALWORLD is, but
Yeah.
PUBG isn't. PUBG's just a new take. It's gonna be a fighting game MOBA, where every time you encounter an individual, you have to fight them in a 2D fighting thing like Street Fighter. That's it. That's the next thing. That's gonna be.
You may not want to announce these ideas, man.
I know. I can't.
I'd play the hell out of that.
Yeah, you know, Tekken was a MOBA. I was just playing Tekken 8 earlier. It's pretty good.
Peak it did beat. See, PALWORLD is one of the top 10 games in Steam's all-time history that's actually like breaking like records. So if you want to compare it, ladies and gentlemen, it's beaten Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 also really shocking how big that was to me.
I don't know. I'm shocked. I mean, Baldur's Gate, the second one, I knew was...
No, I don't think Baldur's Gate did that well. It was Divinity, right? That's the same people, right? That was big, but I don't know. I just didn't expect Baldur's Gate to be like the biggest game ever, especially how stacked last year was. Maybe I'm wrong. This is why I'm not a millionaire game dev. I'm
Do you think maybe that might be part of the issue? Is that at least PALWORLD, part of PALWORLD's success is what's out right now? Like Tekken 8 just came out.
That could be it, because there's Tekken 8 just came out like right now, as you said. What the else? I can't imagine that didn't help. The timing. It's the most important thing to comedy, Matt. Timing! Alright, we got it.
Wonderful.
I'm funny, okay? I'm real funny. I was trying. It's tough to do over Discord. I need to interrupt you. That's the point of the joke.
Okay.
You
so
didn't
eye
respond
contact would be a
with
big
enough
piece.
time, and it's also really tough to interrupt you because it's a lag. That was the joke. I'm funny, I promise.
You have to
hasn't beaten
describe
Dota 2.
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
If you have to describe it, it's not funny anymore.
Shut up, dude!
Slightly just under it. We're talking a few thousand players. And of course, PUBG remains the champion by a large margin of the all-time Steam peak. There are so many types of these games that exist, and the gameplay loops that they provide, if they are fed well, if they are done right, can keep people playing for hours on end, okay? People literally come home from working their job to play another job. And this isn't new. We've been doing...
I love the memes that came out on Monday, because the game released either Thursday or Friday, and then on Monday everybody's like, when you head back to work and you realize you're the pal.
That's so brutal.
It's so true, though. Oh, no. Especially if you work like a really menial job that you just repeat the same thing over and over again. I'm like, oh, I am absolutely the pal. Damn it. And people don't even need to tell me what to do. I just automatically do it. And sometimes somebody picks me up and throws me at something else. Can you imagine if that was how it worked? Like, if I wasn't at my computer and somebody's like, you need to write code, and they just physically picked me up and threw me
Just threw you.
at a computer. I would know what to do, but it's just like, that was okay, man. I got it. I'll work. I got it. You could have talked to me, you know? And they have the little alarm bell to be like, okay, you need to attack invaders. So they're like, invaders? Don't we have security? Why do I gotta do that? Rough world out there. I can't believe you taught me that, like, you can catch people in that game. Like, what the f***? Why?
See, and the problem with that, for me, is, I think it highlights a problem. Like, an issue I have, specifically. Because I didn't watch a ton of videos before giving it a shot, right? And my first
I didn't watch
instinct
anything.
was
I just
like,
saw posts. I saw memes. And I was like, I'm gonna play this game.
my first instinct was like, they have a health bar. I have a pal sphere. It's gotta happen. And it does.
I just assumed I couldn't. I got it. I'm not gonna assume anything in that game anymore.
It's because you're a nice, you know, I don't know, moral human being.
Yeah, but I don't need to be in games, you know? Fuck that.
Fair.
I was talking about this in my last stream, where the dude asked, like, would you murder a bunch of minorities or whatever if they were in one thing, and it gave you a trophy? I was just like, yeah, if I cared about the game, sure. I'm just like, I don't need to be a good person in games. The point of games is that I'm doing that I wouldn't do in real life. Like, would I do that in real life? no. Am I gonna do it in a game? Sure. Like, it doesn't say anything about me. Like, if I don't care about the game, I'm not gonna seek out to just like, oh, there's a bunch of minorities, I'm gonna murder them. Unless
That
it's
does
just, like,
seem to be a problem.
well, unless it's like the RP I'm doing, you know? Like, I'm playing a racist or whatever for whatever reason. And sure. But if I'm just walking around and I just encounter a bunch of people, I'm just gonna start opening fire on them or something.
It was like that Skyrim RP you were doing when you were Voldemort.
Yeah. That was dope. That was actually Oblivion, but yeah. I was just, every time I ran into anyone, not in a major city, because I wasn't strong enough most of the time to take on a whole city. But if I found, like, a cabin, I'm like, oh yeah, y'all are getting burninated. Like, taking you all out. It's dope. I had fun doing that.
Doing this since the days of Shenmue, okay?
Oh, God.
Whether we be working forklifts or flying through the galaxies in No Man's Sky, survival games ain't going anywhere. Just examples of, I guess you could say, copyrighted or Pokemon that are a little bit too close to the actual Game Freak variant. This is,
So, he said Pokemon that are a little bit too close to the Game Freak variant. Gotta call them out. They're pals.
I didn't even pick up on that. Look at you. Good on you.
They're pals. Okay.
Yeah, they
As
are.
a person who calls them Pokemon 90% of the time. This is an edited video, Mudahar. You gotta do better, man. Gotta do better, okay?
Do you remember the name of this one?
I know Wooloo is the one we're gonna compare it to. That's the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Lamball. Got it.
There you go. Nailed it.
I remember this because Matt genocided all of them, so I couldn't catch my last one. I watched him do it.
He eventually got it.
I did eventually get it. I got 10 of them, too.
Lamball, one of the first mons you find in Palworld.
True.
And of course, if you compare
Pal.
this a little bit with Wooloo, you might...
I don't think that's a copy at all. It's only round. Everything else is different. They have a different number of legs. They do have horns, but sheep have horns. Deal with it.
Basically, the color scheme is pretty similar too, I guess.
They're lambs.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't think this is close at all. One's bipedal, this one's on all fours. And it's just a round lamb. That's the only thing that's similar to me. I'm sorry. You can make a round lamb. I'm gonna allow it.
Everybody, make a round lamb.
I'm gonna draw one right now. Come at me.
might notice, whoa, hot damn, that's a bit too similar than I
No,
would expect.
the eyes are way
it's got
different.
the same
Really?
goofball-
The eyes are way different. They're not even close. I don't think those are too similar at all, dude. I'm gonna start Twitter beef with Mugahar if he actually believes this. I know he's got like 1 million subscribers, but me and my 178 or 179, however many I got to, we'll fight you.
Poofball style. It's missing the buttons here compared to like Lamball.
Yes, because
But of
they're
course,
very
if you look at
different.
The horns over here. Yeah, the horns are there. Slightly.
Sheep/lambs have horns, dog.
Yeah, that does beg the question, like, are we allowed to make things that have representative anatomies then? Like, settle down.
You can, yeah. These are not. These, I don't think these are. They are similar just in concept, but like you can't. If you wanted to change the color, it becomes a whole different thing. It's like barely even a lamb anymore. If you like make it red or something.
Mareep's yellow and blue.
Yeah, but that's because it's electric type. I'm not gonna say you can't make a normal type round lamb. I won't do it. If you've got a normal type or basic, whatever they call it in PAL world, I really don't remember. Sure, make your round, but you can make the electric mouse. It's the same thing. It's gonna be an electric type, you know. You can make your normal lamb. Lamball's almost bunny-like with its ears.
I am in agreement. These two things are not the same.
To the ground. But of course, you're missing the actual dreadlocks. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I would say that it's probably an inspired asset. You know,
I'm not even sure it's
Really?
inspired. If you just want a round lamb, they're literally the Beanie Babies have the beanie balls, right? I guarantee there's a lamb one. I guarantee it. I'm gonna just look it up on my phone right now. There it is. Lamb beanie ball. It's white, it's round, it's a lamb. This is a design that's allowed. Okay? It's fine. It's all fine.
Lambs don't typically have horn.
Lambs don't? Even like male ones? Because a lamb
No.
is just a child sheep, right?
Correct. When it becomes a sheep, yeah.
Okay, I guess we're getting somewhere. It is a lamb
It
ball,
gets old.
so
Yeah.
definitionally not a sheep. But it also has 2 legs. I don't know if you knew this, Matt. Sheep have 4 legs. I'll
Would
allow
we
the
call
horns.
what Lamball has hands?
It walks on 2 though. So I don't know their hands,
Bipedal.
but they're at least arms. You might have hooves at the end of your arms, but they're still arms.
All right, fair enough. I
No,
just
for
we don't
copyright
have
and-
horse arms.
Well, I mean, Lucario's bipedal and it has paws, you know?
True.
And you would say it has arms.
I would. We're just going to talk about the squint test.
Oh, is that like a real thing?
There has been legal precedence in the past.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there have been a couple judges that have ruled on it, and one more famous trial was exactly that. It got named the squint test afterwards because the judge had essentially admitted that, like, I don't know, you squint, they look the same.
I don't like that as like a literal thing, but I don't mind it as a, man, these are just close. I can't compare pixel to pixel, but like there's just a lot of characteristics that are just the same. I don't even think it would be squinting. I'd be like, yeah, I see the difference. Their face is radically different. Like a Lamball doesn't even have a head. So.
It is a head.
Yeah, it's just all it is. It's like a Kirby. Like.
So of course, this, ladies and gentlemen, right here is Direhowl. Now,
Yes. That looks like a Lycanroc to me.
Can I get points for, like, calling it what it was, though, at least?
No.
Like, what? I knew its name.
I want to win. Why would I give you points? This is my game. Okay?
Fine, you win.
Fine.
Just
You got the
have one more
Direhowl.
point than
I'll
me.
give you 0.1 points. But I get a full point for being correct. So there you go.
Sure, you stream your rules. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We're doing it.
This
That's right.
looks suspiciously close to Lycanroc.
I think the way you convince me out of this is you show me a bunch of other cartoon wolves. The color scheme is very different, but it is very close to the Night Lycanroc. The actual
Like
shape
rock
of
is
it does.
it's almost red. It's all red, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so the color scheme is substantially different.
Can I get another point?
Yes, I'm not even keeping track of the point. Tell you what, yeah, you got 2 on this because you got the name right and you got the color right. And I get 1 for being correct, copyright correct.
Now, again, I'm just kind of like, putting it out there. These are wolves at the end of the day, wolf-type Pokemons. And
There's no wolf type, you stupid idiot. Look at this fake gamer. Oh my god. It's a rock
Clearly not a
type.
Pokemon fan.
What type is a Direhowl?
Normal.
Starting to come to your side there, Matt. Oh no.
I checked, wolves look pretty similar to one another, okay? Look,
True.
at the end of the day, it's a wolf Pokemon, right? I don't
No.
think you can draw a wolf.
Not right. It's a wolf pal.
Yeah.
You said there's a wolf type, and you said it's a wolf Pokemon. Get it together, dog. Edited video. Christ.
Wolf that differently. Now again, is it 1-to-1? Obviously not. This is where it gets really egregious though, okay?
No, I actually disagree here.
Yeah.
I do not think this is egregious. Maybe parts of his face would need to get changed. We'll see it. But this looks like Lucario. It looks more like Anubis, which is what Lucario copied. I don't think this is egregious at all.
This though, okay?
Let's
So
just
the
get to
examples I
Lucario,
showed you so
and then I wanna
far,
hear your
they had their differences. But ladies and gentlemen, this right here is Anubis.
It's actually just called Anubis in Palworld?
Yeah.
Egypt should sue. Not Nintendo. Egypt. The whole country should sue Palworld.
Okay?
Egyptian
Quite
mythology is
literally, it
offended.
is Anubis.
True.
That is the Palworld equivalent of it.
Just like where Nordic land should sue Marvel for Thor.
Don't believe me? Palworld Anubis. That's literally what it's
Just
called.
show that. I'm only fast forwarding so we actually see the Lucario, so we can start fucking talking about
It's
it.
called. I'm not even joking with you. That's the actual name. They didn't even change it. Now Anubis is an Egyptian god, and if you if you know,
But you know what it looks like? It looks like Beerus from Dragon Ball Z. Because Beerus copies Anubis.
Yeah, if you made his skin tone purple, bruh.
Right, it's just Beerus. So this is not a copy of Lucario.
anything about ancient Egyptian gods, you could probably see. Oh, I can see why this is Anubis. You got that
Yes,
kind of design
it's
going
Anubis.
on. Cool.
Please get to
Now,
Lucario.
if you're a Pokemon
Please.
aficionado, you probably know I'm about to show you. Look.
Did not even close. Not even close, Matt.
Like, the outline of the top of his head is similar.
The ear shape
And then
is
it's
similar,
bipedal.
yes. That's like it.
But
Sorry,
I googled it. Lucario is a Candid-like Pokemon, partly based on Anubis.
Yes. So they're just copies of Anubis. Like it's not. It's obvious
So this one's
Lucario looks like
wrong.
Anubis. Yes.
Down.
Yes. You can't say, like, we made a Sphinx Pokemon, and then, like, they make a Sphinx Pal, and it's just like, what the f? Like, what do you mean, what the f? You copied someone first! We copied the same people you did! Sorry,
You know his typing?
Anubis? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Ground.
Lucario's fighting in steel.
Lucario, which, from what I understand, is also based on Anubis.
Right.
Okay?
Which is the whole problem.
Hey, that's a shred.
There you go. You're both good at Googling. We did it.
Lucario is a canid-like Pokemon, partly
What's a
based on
canid?
Anubis.
Is that just a dog?
Yes.
You can also make a bipedal dog. It's gonna be okay. Everybody can do that.
Now look, there are similarities here, but unless we're going to start digging up the tombs in Egypt and start like
Okay,
taking
he is
this to
agreeing with
court
us.
between
Good.
like ancient
Wonderful.
Egypt and modern day
I'm
civilization.
still gonna fight him for saying wolf-type Pokemon. We're still beefing over that. But he has come around to the light. I appreciate this.
Nations like ours, I don't think anybody's going to be testing it. But again, clearly you could see that this is like the Lucario version, or at least what's the closest to it.
See,
now, this
I think he
No!
messed it
Clearly
up.
it's the Anubis!
That's not okay. That's not, that verbiage there is not okay.
Yeah,
Clearly it's the Lucario version. Shut up.
No. If they had a Mewtwo, I would be like, okay. Like,
Oh, they do.
they do?
It's close.
They were like, hey, we took a cute small cat and then mutated it genetically and gave it little tubes. I'd be like, okay. Like, this... Mewtwo's a pretty unique concept. I would start raising at least 3 eyebrows. I got 2 eyebrows, I would raise 3. What's gonna be this one? Pachirisu?
Kind of has to be, right? I don't know what else he would go for.
right here, ladies and gentlemen, is Liffmunk from Palworld, and if you look at it, obviously this is kind of similar to Leaf.
No! They just turned a squirrel and added leaves. This is just like a dog with leaves. It's a squirrel that they added leaves. They stapled leaves onto a squirrel. And this one, they stapled leaves onto a cat dog thing.
That's a really odd take, actually. Even if you're in the world, you see it running around. It is definitely a squirrel. This is like some sort of leaf fox thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Like, they stapled leaves on the other... They stapled leaves onto a lizard in Gen 3.
Yeah.
Like, they stapled leaves onto a brontosaurus. Why can't they staple leaves onto a squirrel?
This color scheme's completely different. There's no, like... There's like a gem right in the middle of his face for some reason. I don't actually know why.
Well, you do find the Liffmunk statue, so I wonder if there's some lore.
Yeah, and you use those things to improve your capture rate. So I don't know what that's about. This is also just wrong.
Yeah, our beef has doubled. It maybe even tripled, if he agrees with this one. This is the worst one so far, I think.
Leafeon. Again, there are still some differences. Like this kind of looks like
It's drastically
like
different.
Pikachu. What is the
It's not even close.
smaller version?
It's
like
not even.
Pikachu?
I think that the squirrel might look more like Celebi.
Yeah, if we're gonna pick something else.
I might go with Celebi over this. Because Celebi looks like it has hair. I don't know if it does.
Yeah, it's got like a swoosh.
Yeah, but it looks like it does. So it's not a mammal that exists in real life, but it looks like a mammal.
Pichu / Leafeon version. Okay, so there's definitely some aspects. I
First
would
of
say,
all,
are some
they
inspiration.
also said
Cross
Pichu.
Pokemon?
Huh?
We're a cross Pokemon?
Yeah,
No?
I think you could probably fuse 2 Pokemon. Like, if you fused a Leafeon and a Pachirisu, you'd get that. Right?
Sure, but is that anywhere near copyright infringement?
No. Absolutely
Right.
not. Unless you literally take their eyeballs and staple it onto the thing. Which they didn't. Like, Pichu doesn't have red eyes. First of all, you definitely would want to say Pachirisu. Again, my mans doesn't know his Pokemans. Which is fine. But don't talk about it if they don't know about it.
It seems from some Pokemon fused together. Now look, these are just some similarities I found.
he didn't
Other
even-
users on the
He didn't
internet
even really
were quick
offer
to
an
find
opinion. First one. We've got a grass rabbit that is bipedal standing next to our boy Cinderace, or as I like to call him, Cinderace. This is similar. I get why people would say this. I don't know, man. Like, these aren't even that far from Bugs Bunny.
True. Neither
Right.
of them are that different.
Bugs Bunny is like a human being with a rabbit head. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much what these are. So I would say no.
I really feel like what's happening is folks are looking at kind of like almost like an outline of a thing, and then trying to make it match.
Like, this one's wearing pants, and so is Cinderace. And Cinderace is not really wearing a shirt, but it's got shoulder pads, and this one's got the necklace thing. So I
Yeah.
get why you say that, but, like, they're so different. Like, you can't make this out of Cinderace without significant transformation. You can look at Cinderace and be like, okay, how did they learn to make a bipedal rabbit? And then use some
Yeah.
of the shapes.
I'm on the. No. You know what? Nah. Because to me, this is kind of like the Anubis and Lucario thing. I really feel like both of these things are based off of something even more popular.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah.
This one's only a face thing, right?
It kind of has to only be a face thing.
So this one, I might say yes, because it almost looks like the mouth. We've got 4 teeth on top, 3 teeth on the bottom, and the eyes look like almost identical. So I would say they need to just change the face here. Because that does look like a copy, and then they made the eyes glow.
Maybe, but nothing else is similar.
Oh, nothing else is similar.
Split tail thing.
Yeah.
This thing is big compared to Berserker. There's no head medallion thing. The ears are different. They like. I get it. You're right. The eyes and the teeth. Sure.
The eyes are like a literal copy.
Yeah, but this is another thing where I feel like they're both ripping off of something. They're both
The
ripping
Cheshire
off of
Cat.
The Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
Like that's obvious.
Yeah, that is obvious. They're absolutely ripping off Cheshire Cat. Different eyes would probably do it for me.
If I'm gonna use the same argument for Lucario, Anubis, and whatever the grass thing was, and Cinderace, no, I'm gonna say no. I'm fine with this as it is.
Okay, got the Cheshire Cat. No, Cheshire Cat has like rounder pupils. And then the newer Cheshire Cat is blue eyes with the like slit eyes.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them are copying enough to say they're just straight rips of Cheshire Cat. I mean, that's clearly where they're inspired from.
I guess to your point though, between the grass thing and Cinderace, there are a lot of similarities, but you're right. Those eyes are the same eyes. Like
Yeah.
that's a little rough.
There's nothing in the Cinderace one that is copied from Cinderace. Like, you can't say the eyes are the same, their ears or anything. Like, nothing is the same.
Yeah.
Where this one is literally they have the eyes. Like, those are literally the they're not different to me. They added a
you've
glow
convinced
effect.
me.
We got Superior and some kind of water Superior.
So again, I think this is something where everyone's like, "Oh, look how similar they are." Nah, I think it's fine. I think you can have
Yeah.
big snake things.
The only thing I would say, maybe the shape of the snout is copying a lot, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's not that big of a deal. You can make a water snake.
Yeah, the
And
eyes
Superior's
are,
grass
eyes are
one.
different. The hair's different. Yeah, everything. I guess you're right. The nose is pointy, but whatever.
Yeah.
Pointy nose
That's
snake.
a snake.
Yeah.
That's a cartoon snake. Mega Aggron and whatever this guy is. I see the inspiration, but there's no copyright here to me.
I'm willing to say inspiration, sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's enough though. These are clearly like everything is different, you know.
I would never confuse the thing on the left for a Mega Aggron.
No, and I'm sure I can find something that looks like a Mega Aggron that existed before it. Giratina's face, I get why they're saying it, but no. The only thing I think might be a bit of an issue, the eyebrow kind of nose thing is pretty similar.
Yeah. Maybe change the color of the eye from
Maybe,
red. Well,
yeah.
no, it's not even red in Giratina. It's
Giratina's
Well, this
pupil is
image.
red. Yeah,
no,
that's not enough.
no.
You can have a similar face on a thing.
Can't have an armored face. No.
Garchomp's model, but reminds me of Toxtricity as well. Yeah, because it's got electric bolts coming out of it, which is okay. I'll allow it.
It's also bipedal, so I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
It's a similar concept, I get. I mean, Garchomp's obviously a shark, and this isn't obviously a shark.
This
to me.
is not a shark. Yeah.
They have similar body shape, I guess, but all of everything else about it is different. You got the same number of toes. Cool. Sure.
Yeah.
This is Silvalley's model,
I guess is it because of the hair thing?
I guess.
I mean, yeah, it's got 4 legs. I look at Silvally. I don't know what the that thing is.
Yeah, it's a homunculus or whatever. It's like a fusion
I
of
look
like
at the-
8 different things.
I look at the PAL, and the PAL to me looks kind of like a griffin.
Yeah.
I feel like there's
It's just
way
like a
more of an
Spectral
identifiable
griffin or
thing.
something.
Yeah.
I see some similarities in their facial features and a little mohawk thing. I wouldn't.
People are pulling for that one.
Yeah, we're pulling. This one literally says Sobble's fun. What the f does that mean?
Oh,
Finn.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesus Christ. It's a yellow fin.
But that's the only thing
Yeah.
between these two.
Yeah.
Like
if I had
so
a leaf,
nothing can have a yellow.
if I had a leaf on each one that looked similar. I was like, it's f***ing leaf, dog.
No, again, this is out too to me. I mean,
Mhm.
sure, yes, those are both yellow fins. We did it.
Yeah, I mean, they both have 2 round things, but I don't think it's enough to cause an issue.
Oh, this is a problem to people?
Shaman
Shaman?
body? It's just 2 mice, kind of, right? Or hedgehogs.
Hedgehogs.
Yeah.
Yes. Pokemon didn't invent hedgehogs.
No, they sure didn't.
Boy howdy do I think maybe they're this person calls it their body. To me, actually, I think their face is pretty close.
Yeah, face shape and their
Yeah.
nose. Yeah. They clearly have different eyes, and
that's it.
the mouth is actually very similar. It's just smaller on Shaman. Both of their mouths are just lines, so...
Man, I thought we were gonna have a lot tougher calls here. Do they get harder down the line?
No, they get easier. In fact, I think I'm just
Oh,
gonna...
no.
Yeah, it goes pretty deep.
Oh, the one you just flashed. Oh, okay, I see it. The Luxray.
Yes, that's the one I wanted to talk about.
Let's just go to Luxray then.
Okay,
You- wait.
Breakson's design, you can make a Fire Witch thing. I guess the fact that there are both kind of fox looking is a bit much. I don't know how many adjectives you can add before I start saying you copy. Fire Wizard Fox? Seems fine to me.
It's just fine. That PAL, the Fire Witch thing, I would never confuse that
Yeah.
for Broxian.
This one. This might be a little bit too much for me, Matt. They're different. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong. I can
goodness.
see the difference. But boy, howdy. He even said this one was removed from the game. I guess they are both electric dogs. But I don't know. The style is real similar. The demeanor, the style. Like, even though I can't see a design element that was ripped from it.
The hair is loud and spiky.
Yeah.
That's a problem, I
Does
guess.
have the Super Saiyan hair.
Their color schemes are similar enough.
Mm-hmm.
Their eyes are different. I don't know. I do think that this is pretty close.
I don't know how to quantify it exactly, but it is. There's something about it that's just too similar for me, I think. I guess I'd put it this way. If my favorite Pokemon is Luxray, my favorite pal is this thing. Like, without
okay.
without a doubt.
Does this matter in this post if it got removed?
Maybe. I don't know. Is that thing
Cool.
even an owl?
I mean, it is. So I will say the one on the left, I forget, it's like called Rookie or something.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of damning that it shoots with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It
Well,
has a lot of
Decidueye
similar
doesn't.
design
It
things.
shoots with its arm.
Okay, I don't know the thing's animation.
Around.
Is that a bow?
Oh, theirs is a bow. Yeah.
Anywho, I think that was kind of unnecessary. But I don't know, a ranger bird
A grass
thing?
ranger bird thing. I don't know.
Eh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, that one's funny. Actually,
Which
what
one?
was that? Cobalion? The the Cobalion one to me kind of looks like I don't know if you try to draw a Cobalion from memory.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty rough. It sucks. Cabalion's way better. But
Yeah.
that is, I mean, I
Like,
wouldn't
that's just a
infringe on
bad
it.
design.
I would say it is pretty blatant, actually. I would generally agree with them. Because like everything, like the hooves go into the same color. It's exactly the same color. The horns have the lines and shit. If this was a significantly different color scheme or something, like, yeah, I guess it's got clouds on it instead of the tuft, the fur, but like every element is still there, you know? Even though they changed the element, like every element is still exactly there. So maybe, yeah.
That one's bad. I don't like that one.
Now, this is more egregious than anything Game Freak had too. This account by Barbie Elite actually showed the one Mon in Palworld, Arsox, and then they compared it to, I shit you not,
Whoa.
this is a Pokemon known as Flaries from
That's
a
looking pretty
fan game
close.
known as Pokemon Sage, okay?
That's looking pretty close, huh?
That's brutal, actually.
So if you're looking at
Pretty
both these
blatant.
Pokemon or both these like monsters, you
There you
can
go,
see that
finally,
there's
there you go.
definitely more similarities here than anything.
I don't know if it's that anything, because I think the Luxray was pretty... No, this is probably worse than Luxray. This one's pretty bad.
I really think that it's definitely in the top 3. I think it's like
Yeah.
Luxray, this thing, Luxray, and
Cobalion.
then I really think Cobalion is bad.
Yeah, the Cobalion one's pretty bad. So here's the picture of all the Dragon Quest monsters that Pokemon copied. Some of these concepts, man, they just repeat. Yeah, like look at they got the water Gyarados thing, the Shelter with the tongue.
Aerodactyl is pretty egregious.
What's the Aerodactyl? Yeah, that's pretty egregious.
Oh my goodness.
I actually thought this one was muck.
Oh
But
yeah.
they put
yeah,
Geodude. dude. Like, again, it's a rock.
Krabby's bad. Jeez, there are a lot here actually.
Yeah, dude. And if Pokemon won a lawsuit against Palworld, if I was Dragon Quest, I'd be like, oh,
Just coming for their necks.
I'm like, what is happening here? Look at this. This is a purple mouse with a horn. Purple mouse rabbit. Look at this. I don't know. The tongue with the thing. Armored. I guess this is a Triceratops sort of, but armored thing. Like, I don't know. If we're getting on Palworld, we got some explaining to do. The Ghastly looks substantially different, but it's a similar kind of, it's just like a gaseous specter kind of deal, you know?
Even Dragonite's kind of rough.
The pigeon.
Golbat. Jeez, this is, yeah, dude. I've never seen this.
Yeah.
So.
It's pretty wild. Pokemon is wilding, okay? They be copying.
And ultimately, I don't think Nintendo or really any company are taking these people to court.
I think for a couple, I don't think they'll take them to court. I think they'll get some cease and desist on a few of them, and then some of them might be upheld.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to drastically impact Palworld.
No, I think Palworld is mostly going to exist in the same way. We might see a new Lucario guy. Might see a new Cobalion. You know, I don't think it's going to be a major thing. Also, Microsoft is helping out. That might be the way Microsoft sneaks in. Is if like there's a real legal issue with Nintendo, and Microsoft's like, F you, we'll fight you. But in response to that, we want half of Palworld. We want a controlling stake in Palworld. Because like Pokemon's owned by 3 companies. It's the Pokemon Company, which is like Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures. We could see like a thing where it's just like they're in deep legal shit from Nintendo, and Microsoft's like, all right, we're gonna make the PAL Company. It's just it's Microsoft and what that game developer. You're gonna show up on Microsoft systems and Steam because Microsoft put games on Steam anyway. But you're not gonna show up on Switch. You're not gonna show up on PlayStation. You know, I really wouldn't be that shocked if that happened.
Now, for anybody that knows, AI, generative AI, in the world of art is kind of a taboo thing. A lot of people believe that AI, generative or whatever, computer artificial intelligence will take away jobs from, you know, hardworking artists that exist.
Definitely gonna do that. That's honestly not my concern. Maybe it sounds harsh. I don't care if you lose your job to an AI, because eventually, if we have the AI doing all the menial jobs, or not even menial, but they have all to do the jobs, we're just gonna have to restructure our society anyway. In the short term, it sucks. But as far as like, okay, we've eliminated artists, I'm like, okay, then we're gonna have to figure out, like, that's gonna be a whole load of people who don't have jobs, and we're gonna have to figure out the new system to support this. I mean, it sucks while we're figuring that out, but like, morally, I'm just like, no. Like, if we've automated you away, go figure out something to do, or if we don't have enough things for people to do, that's when we're starting to get like, we need to start crafting the utopia. Which is going to be hard. Eventually, I'll get automated away, too. I make enough money to where it's not a big deal. We'll have already figured out the utopia by the time I'm poor. So maybe I'm speaking from an incredibly privileged thing, but I'm just like, okay, like, jobs change. Jobs go away. We as a society are going to have to adapt to it. Let's get moving. But my bigger problem would be, is it literally taking stuff that you own, and it's just spitting it back out? And I don't know how to tell if that's happening with AI. What do you think? The AR overlords are going to take over? They took your jobs?
You know, I think at the beginning, everyone was really concerned about how AI was going to impact the workforce. Mm-hmm. And, you know, things like the liberal arts would be last. You know, now that we're sitting here, we're looking at it, that, you know, obviously, those things are actually first to be threatened.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I can't believe that art is the first thing to go. I thought it was going to be... Well, I don't know if it's the first thing to go, but that feels the most threatened right now. Content creation is like threatened heavily right now.
I feel like the shift, whatever that's going to be, it's going to have to be more people specific. I think things like coaching, managing, all that jazz, I think that stuff is actually going to be still okay. It's just, are you going to have a workforce to manage? Is it actually going to be a workforce in the traditional sense that we see now? I think that it's pretty evident with some of the things we see these days. I don't want to dabble into politics by any means, but like,
go for it.
No,
tell us you want all the immigrants banned. It's okay.
No, just there's a lot of mental illness out there, and I don't see that honestly changing too much with the introduction of AI and how we would be as a society, outside of the fact we would then have, I don't know, more time.
Can you imagine the furor if there was like an AI therapist that caused someone to kill themselves?
Oh, oof. Oof.
Can you Imagine.
Whoever developed that, they're done.
Oh my god. I think people would just start shutting down AIs left and right. They would just be like over. Well, not over, but like, because you can't start shut them down. But they'd be like, oh, like people would just be like, shut down ChatGPT, it's killing people.
Yeah, I think that would be a focus. Any job, any institution, anything that deals with the mental care of humans, whether it's
physical
just
care
happiness.
too, right?
To an extent, I mean, someone's gonna have to monitor it, but you know, they're machines.
Yeah, I guess there's no
do a
reason
lot of
that
it already.
they can't. Yeah. No reason that a computer can't figure it out. I'm not sure there's a reason a computer can't figure out how to do people management too. I'm not convinced there's anything that a computer can't do.
Yeah, I mean, I might just be at the point where I just can't.
I think it'll be a while.
Fathom it. Yeah. Maybe that's more what it is. Like,
With
I can't
sufficient
fathom
data, I
my
think it
mind.
can learn to do anything.
Who Takuro was, and I wanted to see like what other companies that he was running. And one of them was Coincheck. Now, for those of you who don't know Coincheck, I believe this is their website. Own your first cryptocurrency on Coincheck. This is
Okay,
Believe
so
it's first of all.
yeah, maybe check that one. I believe this is their website. You should probably figure out if that's their website.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I didn't even think about that, but I think that's a really good point. You should not believe. You should know. So far, coins are not AI. Oh, okay. Cool. He likes Bitcoin too. Seems like he's trying to get on a lot of the technology trends. He enjoys new technologies. He's interested in them. As a game developer or CEO of a game company, that makes sense to me.
Well, what? That he would be in tech-adjacent things? Yeah.
Yeah, Matt.
Not even tech-adjacent. Just...
Matt. I would think that a tech company CEO would like tech. I would think that.
First of all, we're not sure that this is his website.
We aren't, which is fun.
What do we know?
He's got a coin company, and he's got a game development company. Therefore, PALWORLD has AI in it.
Nailed it.
I think we got him. I think Nintendo's going to win the lawsuit now,
Coincheck.
actually.
This is an exchange platform that is, again, headquartered in Japan at the moment. Now, again, what it appears to be is Coincheck.
Well, does he know that? Because he might not be looking at their website.
Yeah, I don't know what this man knows.
Maybe he does know that. Maybe that's on Wikipedia. I don't remember how he figured out that this was the CEO of this other company. That is really fun. I didn't even catch that really at first. Like, you don't know? That's the website?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just...
He said that, though.
Something. I'm just playing around on my phone.
The feud is going on, Mudahar. You better know. I don't know that you know what a PALWORLD is now. Your whole credibility is being questioned.
Coincheck is one of the companies that Takuro was like originally one of the founders on.
Wouldn't that be funny though? He's just like, I believe this is the game, and he's just on Steam looking at PALWORLD. He's just like, I'm not sure. It might have been made in Japan. I don't know. Just looking at.
Like, I'm guilty of doing it myself. Like, I qualified my statement earlier. This is just what I think. And that's stupid to do that. But, like, I feel like when you say, like, I believe this.
No, it's when you're not looking at it. Like,
yeah.
I say, like, a claim. I'm just like, but I'm not looking at the stats or whatever. Like,
yeah.
In my last video, I said, I believe black people make up, like, 15% of the U.S. I was like, I believe it's somewhere like that. I don't know. I'm not looking at census data. He's looking at the website. Figure out if that's the website.
And at least you're honest afterward, because you'd even made the comment, like, I don't know, sometimes I just like pulling stats out of my ass, because I think that's what he's doing. We're being brazen about it, but yeah, the website's right there.
Figure out if that's is it owned by that company? There's ways to figure this out. It was such a small thing. It's just so funny. It's just such an odd time to be like, I'm not sure. Here's the website. I don't know if it's right. This is it. I would agree.
Being on the Google homepage, being I believe this is Google's website.
It could be. Who knows? Only God knows.
They don't actually list him as a founder in their very recent like Wikipedia entry. And again, going to their website.
So they don't even... How did we know he was a founder?
Apparently he was like the second founder. He doesn't say how he knows that, but he did say that he no longer is on the Wikipedia entry, so I assume
does he have a Wayback Machine?
Because at some point it was.
Weird.
You could show it with the Wayback Machine, and he hasn't here. So that's interesting. Again, small stuff, but like, dude, check your facts.
Well, he might also He might be building this part to being like, we don't actually even know because there's nothing solid, right? We don't actually even solidly know that this is the website. And Wikipedia doesn't have him as the founder anymore. So, like, there's not good data on this. Maybe that's what he's trying to get at.
I just wouldn't start my statement with, he was the second founder, then.
Yeah, he did claim that. He did just say that, yeah. You could say that, but then you immediately followed up with, like, but everything is shaky. Let me show you why.
Yeah.
You don't show me why and then say, so maybe it's all shaky. Like, I think you need to fast follow that one up with, that's a strong maybe. Misinformation. We got the misinformation on wolf-type Pokemon. We got the misinformation on pals being called Pokemon. And now, we don't know what the f this guy is. Mudahar, man. We're fighting. We're beefing.
Back in 2018, Coincheck was hacked for approximately 500 million NEM tokens.
What
Which, a minute, that's a whole. I gotta write that video
So?
idea down. That's
What does this have to do with Palworld?
It even goes down to this the last paragraph. So I've already read through this, and he might touch on it, but like at the end here, it talks about how Coincheck were such outstanding people that they suspended trading for a moment, and then reimbursed all its customers for its losses.
Yeah. So I guess maybe he's gonna say, hey, they're good guys, and AI bad, so therefore
But he
not
can't
AI.
prove that he's even affiliated with them anymore.
That's true. He doesn't even know if
Like,
they
what
work
is-
with these fuckers.
So good guy Coincheck, what's that have to do with Palworld?
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the connection.
He might have a sentence that just might unlock my whole brain. but
I know.
I don't.
We might look like idiots. We're about to look real dumb when he's like, and here's the Bitcoins in Palworld, and we're like, oh shit.
Well, then make me an idiot, sir. Come on.
I'm
Like,
ready.
this is-
I'm happy to be wrong.
crazy. $500 million stolen. That is insane. We gotta look into that one, but that's for a later date.
Yes.
The currency
Yes,
was
it is.
transferred through a total of 19 accounts, one of which was found to have no connection with the hackers. The hack
So?
led two of Japan's cryptocurrency trade groups to merge into a new self-regulatory agency. You know, when you f up so bad that they got...
So? Why are we talking about this?
You see this one f up over here?
Palworld.
Yeah, that's a f up over there.
It is.
Palworld.
I
You
tell
know
you
I've
what.
stolen
One
on a
time, I'll
previous
admit
job.
this. One time, I did technically cheat on one of my girlfriends. One time I did this. I'm a bad programmer now.
Well, that obviously makes sense.
I don't... cheated on my girlfriend 11 years ago or whatever. So I'm a bad programmer.
Ugh.
Don't hire me. What are we talking about? And he's not even associated. Matt, have you ever done a bad thing? You did a bad thing while working
Yeah.
for BJ's.
That's what I was saying. That's I've stolen from a previous job.
Therefore,
I'm never
Walgreens is committing some kind of larceny or something. I don't know. What could they f over? They're mislabeling all of their pharmacy prescriptions because Matt did a bad at PJ's.
Those are clearly connected events.
We don't even know if he's connected anymore.
Potentially.
That they got to start making self-reg organizations just to make sure that this doesn't happen again, which is true. That should happen 100%.
That's fine. Make a different video about it.
Thank you for talking about Japan's regulatory systems.
Yeah.
What do you...
First of all, I bet Palworld isn't selling like hotcakes only in Japan.
Sometimes I'm like just watching you and reacting to certain videos. Sometimes I see like a shred of why we're connecting from thought to thought to thought or something, and you're not seeing it right now, dude. There's no. I have nothing.
I only
I
have
have nothing.
AI and Bitcoin both bad. That's all I got.
Guy might be involved.
He might. We don't even know.
Maybe go check out what we believe to be the website.
Of the time.
Yep.
But Jesus Christ, I'm still shocked by $530 million being stolen. After the hack, Coincheck suspended trading temporarily and reimbursed its customers for their losses.
I just don't care. I just don't care. Do you care, Matt?
I don't care at all.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not crazy.
That's actually great, but I still want to know how $500 million got stolen. But that's not the point of today's video. So
It sure isn't. Thank you.
I looked at their CEO again. This is Takuro Mizuno.
Oh, at least he admits that he just wasn't. Okay. He wasted our time, but at least he admitted it wasn't the point of the video.
At least he calls it out, though.
Yeah.
I will give him. I'll give him that. It's just, it does feel kind of egregious to go so far down a rabbit hole and then be like, yeah, but anyways.
But anyways, we're not talking about that. Okay, good. Thanks.
But that being said, in a situation like this, it is an unfounded allegation. Because yes, even if the actual developer jerks off artificial intelligence, like the Second Coming, it doesn't actually mean that it's part for the course over.
They also didn't, did they? We had one quote where they said they liked AI.
There's 2 quotes.
Oh, excuse me. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
One about
That definitely
how
does it.
everyone was sad because it was so much better with AI. And then the other one was, I'm not getting any work done today because I'm having so much fun making all these AI.
He's literally saying he's making AI, so he's not working on the game. He literally said that. Oh my god. But that is right. I said
that's
one.
the Second Coming.
Yeah, it means it's a second coming. But I said one. It was literally 100% more than that. So yeah, now it's the second coming. It goes from, hey, he kind of likes it, to this is Jesus incarnate. Because of that one additional statement. This is true. Thank you for correcting me, Matt. I almost looked very foolish, but you saved me.
Always here for you.
I know. You always have been there for me, buddy. I will always appreciate that about you.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with the real intelligence to decide what's really the matter of the fact. I've looked through all of the facts.
What?
I've come to my own conclusions.
What?
You looked through all of the facts, Matt. Some of them may or may not have anything to do with Palworld. Who knows? I'll let you decide that.
Look through all
I've
the
looked them all.
facts. This is the website, I think. What?
That's, oh my god. Not even a fact. We don't know if it's a fact. While I'm starting this boss fight, I want you to tell me what you, Matt, Addiction himself, No Life 42545. What did you learn from this video?
That there's a potential money laundering scheme with Coinbank.
Okay. All right.
That led to Pocket Pair's founding.
Yeah, tell me, Matt. Did you learn the connection of that Coinbank money laundering connection to Palworld? Did you learn of that connection?
I mean, I haven't seen the evidence.
But we had all the facts, Matt. We had all of them. How did you not see?
I mean, we did look at all of them, I thought.
No, he said. He said we looked at all of them. You don't have to think.
So I will nitpick that little bit. He said, I've looked at all of the facts. He didn't say we've looked at
Oh, that's a good point. He didn't put it in the video.
So,
oh,
you know,
correcting the out of me, Matt. Oh. He said, I've looked at them. I haven't presented them, but I have looked at them. Oh my god. If that was what he was saying, I'd be like, what the f***?
That's the
Are you
argument,
serious?
if I said something like that.
It would be technically correct, which is the best kind of correct, but boy, would that be frustrating.
I guess I learned that the CEO of Pocket Pair really likes AI.
Did we? Did we learn that?
Via his statement from like 2010.
What did you learn about the connection between a 7R on the Nintendo DS and generative AI?
Well, he did express his opinion that he wanted to make games more casually.
Okay, sure.
Not a casual game, but make the process
yeah,
easier.
on the side, a side gig.
Exactly.
Right, yeah. Okay, sure.
Does that immediately mean that he had intended to talk about the AI portion of it? No, I don't think that was even a thought.
That's weird. Why did we talk about that then?
Well, because based off of YouTube's algorithm, he wanted to get at least 25 minutes of view time in.
Oh.
So why not spend at least 5.5 minutes of that on some that has nothing to do with Palworld?
But Matt, I found a flaw in the argument here. Remember that video, that 11-minute video I watched that didn't even talk about GTA 6? he at least had 11 minutes of Palworld in here, right? I can't believe the thing he said about the Anubis. He was just like, this is pretty close. I'm like, excuse me? It's close to Anubis, like the actual Anubis.
I think that that's something that I'm definitely learning. Other people's interpretation of what designs looking close means to them. What did you learn about Palworld?
What I didn't learn anything about Palworld. I learned absolutely nothing. I learned that Coinbase or whatever coin distribution company equals AI in game made by new company. That was about the only thing I learned. And I don't want that knowledge, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna excise that one from my brain. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a marathon, not a sprint. But I'm glad I was able to do it with you. Everybody check out his channel. He doesn't post, but check it out anyway. It's in the description. And for those of you who are still here with us, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think of Mudahar, Palworld, Bitcoin too. F it, talk about that. Who the f cares anymore? You can just talk about whatever the hell you want down in the comment section. I'll appreciate all of it. Thanks for watching. Peace out.